In the spirit of Black History Month, I'm going to share with you guys a clip from an interview that was done by Morgan Freeman in 60 Minutes with Mike Wallace. So I basically just want you guys to see this man speak the truth. And for those of you that don't know who Morgan Freeman is, he's just one of the greatest actors in history. And I don't think there's been a movie that he's been in that's been bad. If there is, would you let me know? But I think probably my favorite movie that he was in was Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen that. And he's really famous. He's really popular. He's really a good dude. And he makes a lot of good movies. So that's who he is. But I saw somebody watching this clip of him talking about Black History Month, and I felt it was important for me to share because it is Black History Month, right? So why not share this? And I'm going to speak on the clip after it's done and give you my opinions about what I think he's saying. And I'm not just going to talk about Black History Month. I'm also going to talk about Pride Month. And I'm going to give you guys facts just like he's going to give you facts and tell you what I really think about those months. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to let him talk. If you look on your screen, you'll see him. And once he's done talking, I'll say my opinion.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman.
There you have it. Straight facts, right? And why is this important? Well, it's very simple. It's because, and this, I believe this interview was done 10 years ago for you guys to have a time frame of when this was done. I think it was 10 years ago. I don't know. I don't remember. That's not really relevant. But what is relevant is that all these months, Pride Month, Black History Month, yada, 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 they're created to separate people, not to celebrate people. That's what these months are created for. To give certain people certain privileges or make them feel more special than what they are, right? And I think everyone has something to offer to the world, right? I don't think anybody's more special than anybody else. However, when you create these months and these periods of celebration for just specific people or groups of people or races, then you start to create resentment and discourse for people that aren't part of those communities. And like he said, why are you relegating my history to just this month? Why can't you celebrate it every day? Celebrate your history how you want to celebrate it. Why isn't there a White History Month? Why isn't there Jewish or Hispanic or Chinese or whatever? Who cares? Like, people are people, right? That's what matters. But again, the world is run and controlled by a death cult. I'm going to keep saying that until it ends. All right? Until I see that end, I'm going to keep saying it. Why does that matter? Because the death cult is interested in separating humanity, divide and conquer. That's what they want to do. So they create these little special holidays, months, and all this bullshit that doesn't matter to make people feel special and have their own little category. Because it creates discourse. It creates division. Creates arguments, fights, resentment, jealousy, all this stuff, right? All these evil things that aren't good for humanity or for people. It just separates people. That's all it does. And that's what they want to do. So if you listen to what he said, and you see the reaction of Mike Wallace, he doesn't know how to respond because it's just too much truth. It's like, why don't you just call him, like Morgan Freeman said, why don't you call me a man and I'll call you a man? I'm not going to call you a white man. You don't call me a black man. We're just men. That's it. That's because he's like, well, how do we all and racism? Like, I'm like, bro, are you that dumb? And this is why I hate when people say, oh, we need to revisit history or study history so that we don't repeat it. Wrong. The reason why these histories are taught to you, it's for you to repeat it. That's why they teach you these things over and over and over. They teach you about racism and war and all this nonsense that you don't need to know about because they want you to do the same thing again and again and again. They program you. They brainwash you in school. And even after school, with all the programming on TV and all this other bullshit they have, and all these months and all this separation, right? They're teaching you to hate each other. They're teaching you to kill each other. They're teaching you to resent each other and be racist and all of this. So, like Morgan Freeman said, stop talking about it. Stop focusing on it. Stop participating in shit like Black History Month or LGBTQ Month, Pride Month, right? Because all that's doing is creating division. Celebrate who you are and be proud of who you are with whoever cares about that shit. Your family, your friends. You don't have to fucking celebrate it with everybody. Because there are people that don't care about your history. That's the truth. Regardless of what community you belong to. And like Morgan Freeman said, wait, what month is Jewish History Month? He's like, and he's like, do you want one? No. So then why do you have to relegate other people to months? Why? If you don't want that treatment and you don't want to be put in that category or in that small of a corner, right? You don't want people to belittle you and your history. Why do you want to belittle somebody else's? Why do you want to make it small? Just confide it or condense it into 1 month, right? This month is for black people. This month is for pride people or whatever, LGBTQ, right? Why? Again, it's to divide and conquer and to separate people. Just celebrate being a person. Celebrate being yourself. You don't have to be a race or a sexuality to be a person. Just be who you are, be happy with yourself, and celebrate it with the people that care about you. Your family, your friends, your loved ones, whatever, right? But stop trying to make everybody else participate in your garbage, because not everybody wants to do that. And the people that support this kind of stuff are the ones that are causing the division, because you're supporting something that divides everybody else. Like I'm hearing that there are movies where people are saying they don't want white people to go to the movies. It's like some black movie. I forgot what movie it was, but some movie that just came out recently. And they were telling white people not to go to the movie. And it's like, how is that going to cause people to support your culture or your people if you're telling people not to support you? If you're being spiteful and resentful to people that have nothing to do with whatever perceived history you think happened to your ancestors. Mind you, you're not being oppressed now. You have all the rights in the world. You have more rights than you would have in any other country. Yet, you're going to attack people because of some perceived made-up history that you think happened. You don't know if it happened that way or not, but that's what they tell you in school. That's what they tell you in your history books. Right? So you're going to trust the government or your schools, which lie to you all the time about your history, but they don't tell you the real truth of what happened and who really sold you out, right? They don't tell you that, but they will tell you some bullshit. You'll believe it, and then you take out your anger and frustration about some fake history on people that had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. They were not there. They probably don't even know what happened themselves. They probably didn't even study history in school. They probably don't know shit about it. But you're taking out your anger and frustration and then demanding reparations, demanding people pay you. For what? For what? You're not suffering. If you're suffering now, it's your own damn fault. It is what it is. Just own it. But stop trying to blame other people for your problems. And the reason why I'm saying this is because all these histories and months and all this stuff, it's like you want extra treatment. You want extra privilege, right? You want to be put on these pedestals. But like Morgan Freeman said, just stop talking about this shit and the racism will go away. The only reason why it exists is because people keep talking about it and focusing on it and acting like victims. That's why all this stuff is still happening today. We've already, like in the 90s and in the early 2000s, you could barely find a racist person. I still think most people today aren't racist. But now they're hyper focusing on every little thing that it's not even, there are things that they're saying are racist that are not even racist. They're just trying to find things to be offended about. And I'm talking about people that believe in racism. Whether you're white, black, whatever. It doesn't matter what your race is. If you believe that racism still exists, you are perpetuating it and you're causing it to exist because you want to believe in it so badly. So you're promoting it. You're the problem. You're the one that's making it happen. So with that being said, listen to the wise words of Morgan Freeman and stop talking about it and it'll go away. And not just, racism, but war and all these other things that people focus on. Stop supporting this shit. Stop thinking it matters and stop thinking that the world has to be that way because history, right? Oh, history taught us that this is what happens and this is what we need to know and this is what we need to do. That's what's causing all this shit. That's the truth. It is what it is. But anyways, if you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. Hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.